So I've got a squeak up here coming from a metal canopy, and I cannot figure out what. So I'll tell you where I'm at. Anybody that's got a Kubota that may have experienced that, let me know what you did to solve it. I went around and made sure all the bolts in the bottom that holds the canopy on or tight on here, and then you got them. You got one on this side, and you got two over there. See them? And I mean, the top is not loose. I have not hit it. It's not dented nowhere on it or anything. It's not welded solid though. It's like here, there. Where am I? There it is, right here. I'm trying to hang on the side of this thing, and then there. So it's got like spaces right there between the wheels. So what I did was I went down through there with some lubricating oil and sprayed it on both sides, and it's doing that. So I'm not sure where it's coming from up there. And I pulled that out a while ago just to look down in there and make sure everything still looked good. And I like to go over the machine and look at it. But anybody has any suggestions on that haven't started it yesterday. I did. Well, I've put some hours on this thing here recently. I did 3 tree jobs yesterday, which was Friday, and then I did 2 this morning and got them knocked out of the way. So I want to talk about the truck. That truck is an absolute beast, y'all. I pulled that gooseneck behind it a little over 200 miles between yesterday and today, and that thing that's the ticket for me right there. It is perfect for what I do, the way it's set up. I still don't have all my cabinets set up. They're a lot better than they were, but they're getting closer on that. But that is so nice, having everything in that truck, and I keep the trailer hooked to it and I just go. I mean, basically it saves me nearly an hour of time of having to load everything that I normally would take with me in this truck to go do a job. I cut that time out big time. It's gonna pay off for me. The truck pulls like an absolute beast. I mean, I can't, if you've never pulled something on them, it's hard to describe what that truck could do. And the funny thing about it was, when I ran that 200 miles yesterday, I actually averaged over 10 miles to the gallon out of that thing, compared to when I pull the gooseneck with that one. The best that I can do with that one, pulling the gooseneck with the Mini on it, is just under 8 miles to the gallon. So that one right there actually gets a better fuel mileage than what this one does. Of course, you know, that's got to do with the gearing and all that stuff, which this one's got 342 gears in it with the Icing transmission in it. And because it's a 3500, you get the Icing, and 3500, even though it's got single rotor wheels on it, they did allow you to do that. And of course, this one's got the Icing in it with the 488 gears in the back end of it. There was one guy that when I first posted the videos about this truck right here, commented, and he said there is no comparison between a cab and chassis truck and then, you know, like a dually or something like that you put a bed on or anything. And he is right. Wider front end, beefy frame. It's just, it's right. I mean, it is right. And there's probably a lot of people probably have a misconception of what I paid for this truck. I didn't pay what probably a lot of people think I pay. Look there. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. We'll go down to about right there. Yeah, I'm not going to go any lower. I didn't pay what a lot of people think I paid on it. I did fix the bolts where they didn't, the safety chain U-bolts, they didn't have nuts on them. And after I put nuts on them the other night and cussed for about an hour straight trying to get them on, I know why they wouldn't put on there now, but they're on there now. I got them on there, so that's a good thing. So I keep my bucket, my jawbone, strapped to it here, and then I can roll with it there. But love it, man, love it. It's gonna work out well for me. I want to walk back in the shop here and I want to talk about something else too. So the job I did yesterday, so as I was saying there, the job I did yesterday, I cut, well, 3 jobs. I cut 19 trees down yesterday. The first one, the trees were all monsters. It was 11 of them on this one place. And I ran the 500. I ran the 500 all day. And the reason I did is because I was going for longevity yesterday, because I had to run all day. I had Justin Phillips come over, one of the guys that's been in my saw class, 2 of my saw classes. He came over to help me. He's from West Blockton. And cutting as big of trees as we were fooling with and gonna have to cut them up and then pile them and everything, I knew I could get more run time as far as me, my body, out of this, because this is the lightest for power and everything that I've got is this saw here, the 500i, the fuel injected saw. I kind of expected to hit metal yesterday, because you'll see what we were cutting in. Never hit a piece of metal all day long. I had a bunch of extra saws with me. My game plan was when I hit something, I was just gonna chunk the saw, put it down, grab another saw, keep right on rolling. The 500 is a good saw, a lot of power. The throttle response on it is insane of what it does from an idle up. Very, very good. There's one thing I'm gonna point out here on this saw. Well, there's 2 things I'm gonna point out. Well, actually 3. Y'all know my feelings about the oil and gas caps. All 3 of my Stihls leak oil and gas out of them pretty bad. This one here is basically out of gas. So I keep them laying on their side all the time. I don't know what the deal is with that. I've had some people saying that I've replaced the caps on this one time already, and that aggravates me and everything. But I still like the saw. However, one major drawback on this saw now, well, besides the gas and oil, if you're gonna run this thing with the 25-inch bar is okay, but if you go any longer than that, the saw's got too much flex to it. The AV springs on it need to be changed out to some stiffer springs, and there are kits out there where you can do that now. The saw just got too much flex to it. The biggest thing though, y'all, this is no crap. This saw drinks gas. I mean, it's like a camel drinking gas. I am not kidding you. The guy, if somebody runs one of these production cutting, you're gonna put some gas to it. I mean, no joke. The 362 is the same way. The 362, the Stihls are lighter than the Husqvarnas, but they burn a lot of gas. I blew through a combi can yesterday just like that with this saw. I mean, it was done, over. I'll show you something else here. I'm sure that this filter is trashed, man. This is gonna be the other thing that I do not like. Let me blow some of the fines off of this thing here before I pull it back. This filter is gonna be, let's see what it looks like. I had grease around it this time. All right, I want y'all to watch this here. Let's clean this off. Now granted, now I run this saw all day. And I'll say this, the saw pulls so much air. I've never ran a saw that pulls as much air through it as this saw does. And I know that because yesterday I was wearing my Solador pants. They're the red and yellow ones. And there was a lot of times where I use my body a lot against the saw to help support the saw, to where I'm not using my arms as much, you know. I use my thighs. And so when I would get it up against me, those pants, the air flows through those pants really good. Well, I could actually feel it sucking the air through my pants, you know, around the family jewels and everything. But look at the amount of stuff that's coming out of that dang air filter. And I mean, granted, I ran the saw all day. I ran it a lot. But I mean, I could run the Husqvarna, like the 572, I could run it the same amount of time, probably 2 days in a row, and it wouldn't even knock half as much out of the filter on it. Now, luckily, it's got a big filter on it and everything, so that's good. I want to look at this intake on this thing. Let me get my flashlight out here. It actually looks pretty good this time. I think putting that grease around that filter helped. Around the seal on it right there, I think it helped. But you can see all the fines right there on it. There, which this stuff here don't hurt anything. When it starts going in that down there, it does. But look, you see see, I don't have a decomp valve on it, but you can see where it's blowed through, which that's fine. I mean, look at all the stuff stuck on those fins right there. Like I said, I ran the crap out of the saw yesterday. I will say this too. This has got the Stihl RS 33 chain on it right there. It's got some trash in that rail. I got to clean them all, take it off, man. Look at the stuff down in there, bark, pith and stuff down in there. That's the hardest temper chain to sharpen that I've ever sharpened. But I'll say this, it will stay sharp for a very long time too. I'm not gonna lie about that. It does very good, because get the camera right. I never sharpened it. I never sharpened this saw yesterday. I never sharpened it, but it does good, man. There's no telling how much gas we ran through yesterday. Justin and I went through, but that job, we had 11 of those trees. The first one was pushing 50 inches, and all the rest of them were around 40 inches on the butt. 11 of them trees like that. I cut them all down, cut them up and piled them up in 3 piles, and was done in 4.5 hours on that job. And then we went and did 2 more. And like I said, I ran that saw, and you'll see it in the video. I've got a bunch of video footage with it. I ran that saw because it's light and everything. The thing about these bars though, these bars, the light bars, the ES lights, and also the Sugi light bars, Sugihars, they have got some crazy flex to them. I mean, when you're running and you're topping or cutting limbs off, you can see that bar, you can see the flex in it, but it doesn't seem to affect them none. I mean, they seem like they hold up, you know, no problems with them or anything like that on both of them. But they have, boy, and of course you know, everything's give and take. You gotta, if you're gonna do one thing, have it light, it's gonna flex with you. It's gotta flex because they gotta do it to make it light, you know, make it lighter and all. So just going over my Mini here and all that stuff like that, and just having a chill afternoon this afternoon, not really doing anything because I've busted tail, man. I did another tree job Thursday afternoon after I got done logging. I got that done and went and done done one. I actually done one with Justin. Justin picked up a job and needed some help on it, so he recruited me to come help him cut the tree down, which y'all see that video. I may post that video tomorrow. It's a good video. I would like to see on the Stihl, I would like to see them do a little bit better. Come to find out now, there's a guy I follow on Instagram. It's not West Coast Saws or John's Custom Saws, or it's none of them. It's another guy. And the daggone max flow air kit that goes on the 661 will actually fit on the 500. It will go on there. So I may look into doing something like that. This got, of course, that may have come pulled off as I was pulling that thing off. So I'm gonna clean that filter a little bit more around the sides of it, and I'm gonna re-grease it back up. But the saw burns an incredible amount of gas. I mean, I guess they got the fuel poured to it. I mean, it seems like it burns more gas than even a 395 does. So if you're looking to get one of these right here, just keep that in mind. Also, like I said, the 362, it blows through some gas pretty quick too. And, you know, so I don't know. But anyhow, there you go. Later. Oh, if you need some tree work done, man, holler at me. My email's right down below. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.